So, as a Russian that grew up in Russia, I'm a little confused what people are protesting about in LA right now. In Russia, there are laws and you have to follow them, and if you don't follow them, there are going to be consequences for not following them. So, I guess my Russian mind can't really wrap my head around if you came to any country illegally, you may be deported, and you're most likely going to be deported. So again, what are people protesting about? I don't understand. It's not like you can choose which laws you want to follow and which laws you don't want to follow. I also feel like by not reinforcing these rules, you're basically telling the whole world that you can come here illegally and do whatever you want and nothing's gonna happen. And it's like all countries have their own rules how to get there legally. You can't just come to Russia illegally and just stay there. You can't just come to Japan illegally and stay there. So if you can let me know what's the difference with America, because I'm just genuinely confused. And I just genuinely want to know.
Well, the difference is that we've let the inmates start to run the asylum and the prisons, and we've kind of let them out, and they just all kind of blended in with each other. And so, as a result, what you're seeing is a lot of people feeling as though they can do what they want to do when they want to do it. And it's kind of like the Joker and Harley Quinn, right? Those are the types of people that you see in these protests. Also, on top of that, I believe that they're influenced, and there's a lot of influence in these protests by people, billionaires and millionaires, that has an incentive to create chaos inside of the United States of America. But we're going to leave that out of this conversation, and let's just have it a little bit more holistically. The fact of the matter is, again, you can't do this anywhere else in the world. Nowhere. There's nowhere where you can just go, even Canada. Like, I'm looking at Canada right now, and you can't just walk into Canada. You can't just cross into the borders. And I remember during last year when Biden was in office, and who's to say who was really running in the president of the United States of America, they sued Texas to allow for them to have open borders when Texas was trying to prevent illegal migrants from coming over into the United States of America, which is one of the reasons why Texas had to make sure that they started to bust it over into places in the states that didn't support closed borders, and why you now have sanctuary cities, because so many of these places are so liberal with their mindset, and they support illegal migrants from places that also don't even allow for their own citizens to come back. Like, I remember when other places was trying to sue to prevent Trump from sending their people back. Now, if the other places, think about this for a second. If the other places, not the El Salvadors, the Guatemalas, the Venezuelas, the Haitis, and all of these places, if these people are so adamant about having controlled borders that they don't even want to have their people back, and they was trying to prevent Trump from being able to send them back any means possible, and Trump basically had to use the might of the United States of America to illustrate this. And of course, we had the whole tariffs and the trade wars and all of this stuff, right? If they didn't even want them back, why are we protesting for them? If these people are so egregious to where they were not vetted, and we just left this whole border open and stuff like that. And I largely believe it's tied to a lot of things, including human trafficking, but I'm not even going to get into that either. But the fact is if they were so adamant about making sure that you even have a process for when you're going to send them back and how you're going to send them back, and Trump, he hasn't even come close to Obama's numbers, and they had no protests, they have no issues. Nobody was trying to hold Obama accountable as the border in chief, as a deporter in chief. That's where the whole kids in cages things came from. Then they came up with this whole separation of family and whatever, and that don't make no sense, because anytime you commit a crime and you involve other people in it, as far as like you still trying to act like you never committed the crime, you got to get separated from your family. Now, your family, in this case, they can choose to go with you. And so I am seeing a lot of stories of people that are saying, yeah, I self-deported. Yeah, I took advantage of the United States of America for a long time. And some of these people actually saved their money. And so what I'm starting to find out, which I already knew, but they're just confirming it vocally and openly, I'm finding out that a lot of these people do actually stack their bread or they do send their money back home. And so basically, that's another way that the United States of America is subsidizing the rest of the world. Now, the rest of the world understands that in order for you to come into their country, and you can go and look up, like, people really need to just like do a little bit of a deep dive before you run out there and use your energy on a pre-made sign that was given to you by an organization that's incentivized to try to get Trump out of office. Before you go and you know what I'm saying, go and protest and then go and try to fight the National Guard and the Marines with tear gas and stuff, before you do any of that stuff, right? Go online and look up the requirement to go to whatever your favorite country is. Doesn't matter if you want to go to Europe, doesn't matter if you want to go to Japan, doesn't matter if you want to go to the Dominican Republic. If you want to stay there permanently, if you want to be able to be a resident there, because some of these places don't even allow for you to actually buy a residence, right? Look up what the requirements are. It's going to tell you like the minimum amount you got to have in your bank account that got to be verified, how long you can be there. Then they're going to say you're going to have to renew and all these things. And if you don't meet that criteria, you can't permanently live there, or you got to get the hell out and go somewhere else. If you overstay your welcome and you don't continuously meet the criteria, guess what? They got to get you the fuck out of there. You know why? Because the reason why they put that criteria there in the first place is they want you to stimulate their economy, and you have to be a contributing member in a positive way. Otherwise, you got to go back to your country. Now, we don't do that. We allow for people to come into the United States of America. Don't know who the fuck they are, where they came from, how they do things, none of that stuff. And then you can come over here. You can also commit crimes, right? If you commit a crime, they'll do a catch and release. They'll put it on the books, and especially if you're in a place like Los Angeles, Chicago, don't worry, they got the Safety Act. They've written laws to make sure that you're okay, that they protect you and your rights. I didn't know that you had any rights as an undocumented illegal migrant, but they'll create your rights. I've seen illegal migrants that don't even have a social security number over in Chicago have done whole live streams about it. I've seen that these people have helped them buy houses in the United States of America. They've helped, the church has helped them buy houses. Go and look it up, bro, in Chicago. It is real. It is a thing. It is not something that we making it up. It's something that's real. So when this person, they asked, and I always like to give credit to the content creator, so the link is going to be in the description. When they then ask, what the hell are y'all protesting for? Why are y'all mobilizing over this? I think it's a distraction. It's got to be a distraction. Got to be something bigger. Obviously, we know how easy it is to manipulate sheep. So, you know, that goes without saying. But when they say, why are y'all protesting? I need them to know that some of us, most of us, the ones that voted in Donald Trump, we're thinking the same thing. We're thinking the same thing. When we see these liberals that are ready to destroy the United States of America, you have to come to the conclusion that they're from somewhere else, that they want to bring their culture here. And in order for them to do so, they basically got to destroy the fabric, the mindset, everything related to the United States of America and how we go about doing things inside of this country. So if you wondering, just know that we wondering, and we not willing to give up. And the fact that we voted in Trump is one of the reasons why is how you know that we still want order and doing things the right way inside of the United States of America. But let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.